RationalInvestor.com's Daily Brief. The answer to your question is learn the goddamn process, trade your trading plans, don't take too much risk on any one trade, and just let yourself get rich. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the RationalInvestor.com's Daily Brief. This is our, try to do this a little shorter summary here. We are starting a little bit later. Maybe I'm still in holiday mode. I don't know. My apologies. Anybody who's expecting this to start at the top of the hour, a little bit late. Anyway. It's Wednesday, December 27th. It's nice to see all the crypto kids are having lots of fun here. I suppose Solana has probably calmed down a little bit here. I think looks like maybe even a head and shoulders top is coming in here. So wouldn't be surprised. And I noticed a lot of these little SOL names that we picked up here recently. They're all just sort of floundering around, not doing a hell of a lot. So not much to really report there. I suppose it's kind of like the market kind of just goes in phases. I think while that Solana network was rocking and rolling, all the little names within that network were rock and rolling. And, once it sort of fell out of favor, most of the names within that space came off. It's interesting to see Ethereum turning the corner here. And actually, this was looking really dangerous. Last week. This is a daily price chart. Big old smile there. So they were able to turn it around and actually get it to come up and potentially break the top there. I don't know whether we've actually broken out now, but I certainly wouldn't be as bearish as I was feeling there the other day. So I suppose that's a good thing. Let's see if we go candles. Yeah, we haven't quite broken out through the top here yet, but it'll be interesting to see if they can. I don't see any reason why not. I would be curious as to see what the fundamental reason that they're justifying this rally is. I'm not quite sure. But we'll say, and I've kind of said this to you guys recently, that as long as we keep seeing the little ones pumping and the market ratcheting higher, it's very hard for me to believe that we'll see a top in any of these majors. Probably actually the best one to look at in crypto land would be something like the total market cap. Something along those lines. Interesting. So we just hit 2.618s up here. Alt AB equals CD, 127.2 objectives. And I suppose the next big one would be 1.618. Yeah, as long as you keep seeing higher highs and higher lows, I suppose that's what defines a bull market. I think it is kind of a little bit of a wonky environment here with this holiday. And what was interesting, I kind of noted this morning, really almost like no news at all. We're in a bit of a vacuum here today. Where the best place to show you this is. Do I have it over here? If we go here, see Wednesday, December 27th. The only news, I suppose, is the Russians' unemployment rate. I suppose you could make some sarcastic joke that you don't have to worry about unemployed. They're all dying. 350,000 Russian men literally removed from the Russian society. Thank you, Mr. Putin. I wonder how many Ukrainian poor souls have been lost thanks to that asshole. Anyway, it is what it is. It's interesting here. Normally, I suppose because Monday was a holiday, Christmas, normally on Wednesdays we'd have the API or the EIA, Energy Information Agency, I guess. Anyway, come out, but we don't even have that. We have the American Petroleum Institute. This is a private outfit that gives inventory data on the private reserves, and it's in essence trying to sort of offset this government data. Keep in mind, government data is awfully finessed by the people that are in power to justify their policies and stuff. So, anyway, point matter, and thank you, Chris, for letting me know. There just really isn't any news here today, so everything is kind of just drifting. Path of least resistance, like we said, for the US dollar index, interestingly enough, we actually just coming into bearish bought objectives had you taken this short following that Fed announcement. And A, B, C, D, it looks like we're probably going to head even a bit lower here. But I think that trade was a pretty clear trade coming out of that Fed announcement. Had a bit of a dead cat bounce right into 2.618s and then just continued on. And now we're finally getting into things like horizontal support and resistance, look left, that kind of idea. And also this was a key low from back in April of last year. So we should see some play around here. And also too, coming into the holiday weekend with the New Year's. I suppose Monday is going to be a holiday as well. Did hear the Top Step guys kind of saying this is a really screwy couple of weeks with all of these holidays in here. And I suppose probably a good analogy of how screwy the market is. Of course, Chris and I, oh, look at that. I put on a little paper short here on this double top breakdown. Already I'm getting embarrassed. I haven't been stopped yet, but anyway, just kind of filling the time paper trading here. But Chris and I were watching the opening range trade pretty closely here today in the crude. Actually, I guess that was off of this one. And geez, you know, as a really, if anything, this is good educational material. Opening minute of trade there on the crude produced a 32 tick range, and it would have had me buying all the way up here after this monstrous rally, and of course smashing through things like 2.618s and alt ABCD. You can see ABCD. So I didn't feel comfortable about putting that trade on. I don't really like chasing, you know, I always tell you guys not to chase. So I just left this alone. And sure enough, it was a trap and they just ripped the market back down. So a really good analogy of that holiday trading environment. So I'm a bit skeptical about what I'm seeing here in the market. As you saw there a moment ago, I did strap on a little paper short here. It looks like I'm about to be blown out on this thing though. Oh, there you go. Boom. See you later. So if anything, really good analogy of, you know, go very slowly, make sure to identify your risk and obey risk rules. And if you do get stopped out, you got to live with the results. It was I think about 2 or 3 point loss there on paper. Not really anything to get excited about. But you can kind of see stock markets themselves. This is basically a big hurry up and do nothing kind of day. And interesting to see that crude oil is coming off smartly here after I think a pretty substantial rally the other day. So probably actually the market that jumps out at me that kind of took my attention, and you can see it obviously with the weaker US dollar, that's going to help the gold price. But I noticed things like the Swiss franc moving up dramatically, and of course it likes to trade on the gold price. Euro also moving up smartly, yen moving up smartly. Is this position squaring coming into the end of the year and also this short holiday week? I get the feeling that's the case. Also, too, I think, and Chris even pointed this out, you know, Ethereum, and I'd said a moment ago, was looking very, very dangerous there the other day, but they brought that right back in. Good old Bitcoin. Supposed to finish off this free video. Just it looks to me like somebody has said, until I get my ETF, so you know exactly who we're talking about, there's no way in hell you're moving this price. It is going to be completely under my control. soon as I get my ETF and I list all the shares and get all the FOMO panic. Remember how Coin acted last year on its IPO? God, well, that was an embarrassment. Was that 1 year ago or is that 2 years ago? God, I can't even remember. Anyway, today is stock analysis Wednesday. We didn't actually have a stock pickers club meeting last night. I was just too out of it. So I didn't attend, and I noticed that our big quarterback, David, who does a lot of chart analysis for that group, he was MIA last night, so we didn't do one. But anyway, I think what we'll probably do in this stock Wednesday is we'll circle around and look at all the crypto stocks and stuff in the after party. But Bitcoin itself, this is a weekly price chart. I do get the impression that it is parked. Still think that the statistical odds of us either breaking up into horizontal support and resistance and some technical objectives into trendline resistance into big fat round numbers, 50,000 bucks, that's probably going to be a big psychological level. Versus Collins pump chaser zone, the moving average support, trendline support, 38.2s, 50% retracements of entire ranges. I think it's basically a coin toss right now. So, place your bets. It's probably not a place I would recommend people to actually place a bet. You know me, I would much prefer that we wait for reload zones within reload zones, that kind of stuff, if you really want to buy. I think, as I said, though, said this repeatedly, as long as I keep seeing these kind of price charts, and this actually was one that Magic Internet Money guy, Danny, was all somebody had asked, what's a project that you'd like? That was back, of course, when he was a rock star. Now on rock star status. But anyway, been watching this. As you can see, we did, or at least I did, go and pick up a little bit of this. But yet again, another name. I don't know where the hell I was over the fall, but I missed the beautiful W to add. You can even see where I wanted to add. So I don't know. It was really a screwy mindset. But the point of the matter here is, as long as I keep seeing this kind of price action, how can you call a top in Bitcoin? I mean, if anything, I think what's happening here is they're just sort of cycling through the whole market and just trying to relieve all the oversold conditions. And everything just got ridiculously oversold. Look at this one. Somebody in the TRI community just mentioned this the other day. Here's one I need to go buy, and kaboom! Again, how on earth can you have Bitcoin break down in the face of that? I mean, there's just too much buying pressure here. At the same time, too, am I going to say, oh, yeah, go in and buy that up there? That's a good idea. No. I mean, if you can buy the W's, awesome. But it's just remarkable to watch one name after another after another. And it's like almost on a daily basis is they're just cycling through the universe, just pumping them up. Look at this guy. He's getting ready to go. So no, don't be surprised if there's a pop on that guy. There's a few of them here that we were looking at. This was that Danny one that I just mentioned a moment ago. This NKN, I think we got a bit of that on the books. So anyway, you can see. Might get a nice little trade-off there. Actually interesting to see these demo trades. And I think this actually is a good analogy of the market state that we're in right now. Is here's your value trade at the bottom end of the range. And of course, we did buy and, sold halves on doubles. This probably isn't the best chart. Maybe over here. There we go. And then we consolidated a bit. And the question really was, is there going to be any follow through? And this is, the trend continuation trade. And I've said this repeatedly to people who've asked me, and especially those that are sort of like very, very new at this, and they've missed the bottom, the W, all that kind of stuff down in here. And they're kind of complaining that I won't let them just go and willy-nilly buy up here. You have to understand, even if you just draw a simple trend line, the value trade long-term support is like down here. So, if you are relatively good at your trading, and you can follow. I'm going to buy at a certain level. I'm going to risk to a certain level. And if that gets stopped out, like you saw on the S&P 500 little futures trade I just had there a second ago, then great, get in there and trade this stuff. But if you're brand new to investing and you don't really know what you're doing, this is extremely dangerous stuff. And you could get yourself into a lot of hot water really quickly. Because what'll end up happening is this will dip down here, if this thing does break down. And then you'll be like, oh, well, I don't want to sell. I don't know. I think I'm just going to hold on. And then the trade turns into an absolute train wreck down here. And then you start cursing my name, which I really don't want you doing. So, this is, I think, actually a pretty good analogy of the market state. And there's a few of these that I've told you about. There's the Matic, same sort of thing. It's basically the same market state. We saw like the Solana, and this is why it's really dangerous to come in and chase these things after they move. There is the bot setup. There is the bot target. Are you going to come in and buy up here? Oh boy, that's asking for trouble. So just the point being that, once this guy, he's at his move stop to trailing level. So on any kind of market structure, you could start locking in profits. But once we sort of get up into this area here, you can't be a buyer of these things. If anything, you got to be ringing the register, taking profits, all that kind of fun stuff. So as I said there a moment ago, and I've said repetitively of late, as long as I continue to see this kind of price action, I don't think Bitcoin's going to break down here per se, but as you can see from this chart, as long as we keep making higher highs and higher lows, then it's a bull. And really simply put, I think you could probably just make a note of this. If we do see the market go through these lows, we're trading down in this kind of area, and just doing anything like that, then this bull's over. But for the time being, higher low, higher low, higher low. Can we go up and take out that high? I don't see why not. And really all I've been saying is we're just stuck in a range here right now. And actually that range in the microcosm looks something like that. Where actually I wouldn't fault the lower time frame traders. Those guys that like to short the top ends of ranges. I think there's a half decent short idea there. And interesting enough, we were even through the public video talking about the reload zone test yesterday. How we came down into this mountain man level 61.8, and all we did was just jackknife straight off of there. And if you are a higher time frame player and you kind of like that idea that, yeah, Bitcoin's still a bull, everything else is still pointing up, as I showed you with the link idea, I mean, you just don't know what's going to happen here. In this case, it was like, oh, we look like a genius. Look how smart we are. Oh, we look like an idiot. Look how stupid we are. Oh, look at it now. Actually, no, we're not smart. We're not stupid. We're just in between. Oh, now we're back looking smart again. Woohoo. But that's the whole point of trading, is that you have to pick your levels and decide where you're going to risk to, and then just let it play out. I still think this thing's working away, just doing its thing. And like I showed you on the little Matic, this guy's actually killing it. He's at the point, hey, look how smart we are now. Jesus, we're brilliant. And then you'll see that they come back. Oh, well, maybe we're not so smart after all. But this is why I suggest people trade setups. Is what you're really doing is you're only as good of a trader as you are at following your plan. So all of this is pre-planned. And I get 3 higher lows, and I have my entry level, and I have my level where I can move my stop to scratch. So, if this thing craps out now, we won't even get to the point where we look stupid because we'll be stopped out at scratch. And now that we've had move stop to trailing level, if we get any kind of market structure failure in here, I can walk away and officially declare that, hey, actually, I'm not as stupid as I thought I was. But that's just tongue in cheek. I'm just being silly. But the point here is, you can see the same setup. This is why I teach this setup. It's universal. Doesn't matter whether it's crude oil or the stock market or Bitcoin or Matic or whatever, but there's the 25 level, and if you're a bull, 1 higher low, 2 higher lows, 3 higher lows, 4 higher lows, Remember I earlier said, oh, as long as we keep making higher highs and higher lows, it's a bull. If we do start breaking down and through these lows, you can see how that would basically bust this bot setup out. So in a weird sort of way, if you're a bull, you're just sitting there long from 42.9 and change. Your stops down here at 40,000. So you're risking about, what's that, about 4 or 5%? That's pretty typical. Your target here is all the way up at 51 G's. And of course, all you crypto kids are like, that's fine. I'll take that. Thank you very much. And that, of course, would hit those big psychological, big fat round number objectives. That would be the push up top here, clean out Mountain Man, clean out these weak hand stops up here, hit the trend line, big fat round number, et cetera, et cetera. So your summary for today is it's kind of a big hurry up and do nothing kind of day. It is a holiday environment. We'll go and look at some of the crypto stocks in the after party. They're all booming higher. You can't buy any of them now. You've missed the boat. So, but maybe we'll paint some upside objectives. In fact, actually, I think Novogratz, I've got to sell some of him because he's already doubled on me now. So that was one position I was able to take. I feel pretty good about. But man, I sure missed a lot of opportunities this cycle. Anyway, so there's your market summary. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, the whole thing. And of course, if you are interested in learning the process, if you are interested in learning how to build a business of trading, not just in there, hey, I think this thing's going to go up, that thing's going to go down. But if you really want to sort of learn a business, how do I set myself up that I'm going to run my little business of trading? I think our education program is second to none in that regard. We have a new school term starting in January. If anything, you can see we've already got a countdown clock here, 20 days until the new school term starts. We should probably get the raffle sign up page going, Chris. I don't know, how do we usually do that in the past? But we should probably get that sign up form going so that if you do want to participate in the raffle, maybe you can win a free seat to the education program. Anyway, so that's coming up here in the next few weeks. And I would strongly suggest, at the very least, you can just come and just review what the program is and what our students have said about the program and how it's changed their life. You're more than welcome to pop on the site. In fact, we even have a free trial. You can come in and see just even the most simplest of strategies, our little old lady strategy. I mean, these guys are just having a blast. It's fun just coming in here and just hanging out with the kids, especially in this type of environment, because the little old lady is making money like she's a drunken whore. So these guys are having a great old time, and if anything, they're trying to teach Brian how to participate in the Solana and all this DeFi world. And I'm an old man. They're just trying to teach old man new tricks. But it's great to see the community having a great old time in the market here. And hats off to all of you. You're doing great. Just keep on keeping on. Slow and steady wins the race. And of course, anybody who's watching in the public, feel free to come on over and join our community. And I think it will change your life if you give us the opportunity. I have always said in the past, if you give me the opportunity, I will make it so that you can never talk markets and trading and investing with any of your family ever again. Which is sort of a fun way to end this video, because sadly, of course, family always buys the top, sells the bottom, panics, FOMOs, and we teach you not to do all that kind of fun stuff. So anyway, have yourselves a great day. As my buddy Joshua sent me this cup so long ago, and I revere it. It's my favorite coffee cup. Try and remember that expression if you can keep a positive frame of mind through all this, and the insanity of what we're going through, like in my country, the absolute insanity, the insanity of Eastern Europe, the insanity of Asia right now. And as long as you can keep this expression in mind, you can get your way through this life. So slow and steady wins the race. PMA for the win. All the best. Bye for now.